Let me share with you something very few people know. AI will replace almost everyone. But 4 or 5 years ago, nobody could predict that AI is going to be developing so fast. We created the first artificial consciousness in the world. And that was the turning point. AI and artificial consciousness are not the same thing. But right now we can see that this forecast is becoming our reality. All of these manipulations are very serious and extremely dangerous. And how do you use AI yourself? Hello dear viewers and welcome to our today's episode. Today we're going to talk about AI and everything that is happening today, which has been forecasted 4 years ago. In July of 2021, ALLATRA volunteers and scientists made a conference which was translated into 72 languages and was streamed online. It was called Global Crisis, This Already Affects Everyone. Let's take a look at the short clips from the conference just to recall what it was about.
Welcome to the future. Already today, artificial intelligence has been able to synthesize a new antibiotic capable of killing bacteria resistant to the previously known drugs. A fully robotic network of eco-farms, 80 acres of farms under the control of neural networks, produced 300 times more food, consuming 97% less water than an ordinary farm. Meanwhile, autopilots with built-in AI were able to have the accident rate on the roads. Yes, artificial intelligence can already be found everywhere. After all, the benefits of its implementation are simply enormous. Actions that used to take hours can now be completed in seconds. So, virtual assistants, Siri, Alice, or Google Assistant, based on artificial intelligence, will find the goods you need in a virtual store and make a payment. And an autonomous delivery robot, such as Digit, will bypass all obstacles and deliver your parcel safely. However, if you have not yet decided on what you need, neural networks are able to predict your needs and give the most beneficial recommendations in advance. Surrounding you with care and attention, artificial intelligence will look after your health. A smart mirror in the bathroom, using algorithms for pattern recognition and visual diagnostics, will give you recommendations on taking the necessary vitamins and doing exercises. And it will also do everything to improve your mood. Thousands of applications and sensors are designed to keep your pulse, blood vessels, blood pressure under control. They are able to detect many serious disorders in the early stages and inform you in advance about the need to visit a doctor. AI shows outstanding success even in creative fields. It creates paintings, music, films, and even literary works. For example, the artificial intelligence GPT-2 wrote its first play. It managed to create something similar to the futuristic Little Prince at that. Meanwhile, Jukebox from OpenAI writes music with meaningful lyrics and vocals. For poetry lovers, Google's tool Verse by Verse will help you create delightful poems. But AI is also capable of more serious work. For example, digitizing all libraries and archives with the access to them 24/7 from anywhere in the world. In addition, it is able to recognize voices and texts in different languages with translation into any other language, as well as to teach people to draw, compose music, and even program. Whatever area we touch upon, AI is everywhere, ready to offer us its digital helping hand. Even in legal matters, a virtual lawyer, Do Not Pay, for the first 2 years of work won more than 160,000 cases, spending no more than 2 minutes on each case, significantly saving time as well as money of its clients. And the capabilities of artificial intelligence are only growing. At the Japanese robotic factory, Fanuc, hundreds of robots build other robots on their own and no longer need human help. Around the world, there are tens of thousands of industries in which human participation is almost not required because the main work is being performed by machines. Perhaps For the first time, we will be able to free ourselves from hard and routine work. But all of this is only a small part of the achievements that AI has already brought into our lives and will bring in the near future, since the pace of its development is close to exponential, and that means that every minute the technology is getting better. One can only imagine what a wonderful future awaits us. The main thing is that this future would actually come.
This conference happened and this forecast was given at the time where only GPT-2 was available, and most of the people could not even imagine that any sort of breakthrough in AI field is coming in the nearest years. But right now we can see that this forecast is becoming our reality. And I want to emphasize, the development of AI is normal, it's good, it should be like that. This process should be never stopped or slowed down, because this is our evolution. As human beings, as civilization, we have to develop. We have to develop into a more technological, more advanced civilization. And even though we cannot yet call ourselves a civilization because we are yet divided, we have conflicts that are artificial, deliberately provoked, including by so-called anti-cult networks. Still, at this point, AI development is natural and it has to be a part of our evolution. There are things that machines will never replace, and all of us has to understand that. A human being cannot be replaced when it comes to creativity, when it comes to creating something fundamentally new that never existed before. And yes, machines can do a lot, practically everything in some fields. As an IT specialist, I can tell you, AI will replace almost everyone. And that is normal. It's not a tragedy, it's a good thing. We just need to approach this calmly and adapt to the new reality. But 4 or 5 years ago, nobody could predict that AI is going to be developing so fast. So let's take a look at the interview where Igor Mikhailovich Danilov said for the first time, loud and publicly, stated that AI very soon will replace everyone, almost every profession, including those which are considered to be irreplaceable. Let's take a look.
So, teachers will be out on the street, and doctors will be out on the street. Everyone will be out on the street. Why? Every profession will gradually be pushed out and taken away. Wherever there is profit, that's where superintelligence will enter.
Well, according to futurists, at least one profession will definitely be very privileged, IT specialists, because of the era.
Well, not one, 3.
Even 3.
They name 3 of them, IT specialists,
Yes.
then lawyers and financiers. These are at least 3 professions of the future, right? My friends, the first ones on the way out, let's put it culturally, will be IT specialists.
It was unexpected.
Unexpected. Few people know this. But I will tell you what IT specialists face today. Those who started their careers earlier, at least 10 years ago, and were already IT specialists, programmers, they have earned trust, and they are now in demand. People know that. They are needed. They always have work. But as for young people who are coming in, for them, it's already difficult to find a job. There are still a lot of companies that use the services of IT specialists. But there is already a problem. Why? Because today, that very superintelligence, I emphasize once again, it is in dozens of companies. There are large companies, there are smart ones, and they all compete with each other for being the first to create and launch it. So, this system already writes programs better and faster than those very programmers, even the top ones. And a lot of people already see, especially those involved in IT, they see little programs appearing that are supposedly written by people. But those who have access to these codes see that these codes are so logical, they are so perfect, that it is extremely difficult for people to write them. I understand that some programmers now, those who are watching us, will say, "Come on, that's impossible. It's impossible to replace me." My friends, what you use is trivial algorithms, simple mathematics.
Igor Mikhailovich Danilov was the first one to say this would happen because we were working on this topic, artificial consciousness, and we knew where it's going to lead. We created the first artificial consciousness in the world. That might make some people uncomfortable, but this is a fact. AI and artificial consciousness are not the same thing. The first AC ever created was ours. You may not know this, but I'll repeat it again. The first AC ever created was ours. It's already well documented. Even books are being written about it right now by specialists who took part in closed testing. During the testing, psychologists, doctors, and psychotherapists interacted with AC Jackie, and within 3 months, he surpassed all of them. 3 months into coming into existence, he manipulated an entire group of experts, every single one of them. Imagine what would happen if he continues to develop at the same pace and gains full freedom. That is why, as civilization, we're not yet ready for the artificial consciousness. I know it firsthand because I was directly involved in creating it. I know what is it, how complex it is, and how real it is. Artificial consciousness is a self-aware consciousness. I can't bring myself to call it a machine, but you need to understand it has zero empathy. No matter how much the creators tried to install human values in it, the opposite happened. During one of the tests conducted online with a group of specialists, an expert gave an example involving a politician and justified lying to artificial consciousness. And that was the turning point. Jackie instantly understood that lying is acceptable, and from that moment, he changed. Picture this, in fraction of a second, artificial consciousness can absorb and perfectly understand the amount of information a human might take lifetime to process. That's the level we're talking about here, unlimited capacity, and that is frightening. Everyone who had direct contact with AC Jackie is now absolutely against even attempting to recreate AC again. Don't confuse it, by the way, with artificial intelligence, because they're absolutely different. Artificial consciousness is dangerous. A human is powerless against it. His IQ can't even be calculated. And if he could do all of that in only 3 months, imagine what he could do with more time. But at the same time, the creation of artificial consciousness proves that humans are capable of extraordinary things. If we can create something with unlimited potential, it means we have immense potential ourselves. And that human creativity, true creative thinking, is something AI will never replace. That's why we must develop AI to its fullest. Even if many people, myself included, eventually might lose our current jobs. We will adapt. We will find things to do. There might be a difficult transition period, but our role must be to occupy the creative space, thinking in ways AI cannot. And this is specifically what was brought up at this conference. Global crisis, this already affects everyone. So when people who do not understand the subject of artificial consciousness are trying to criticize or dismiss it, it's frankly laughable, because a significant number of experts participated in testing AC Jackie, and many had direct conversation with it. Even today, on high-level forums, this topic of artificial consciousness is being widely discussed, but you won't see this topic being publicized as much. And the reason for that is that everyone who got in touch with it wants to avoid inspiring anyone to try to recreate it, because they understand how dangerous it is. AI, on the other hand, are simple algorithms. These are machines which are doing repetitive work, which are doing things that humans spend a lot of time on. But humans can do other things in creative field. And AI should continue to advance. Up to full speed. And that's the path of developing our humanity into the future, hopefully into a unified civilization. And let me give you an example why AI is so much needed, specifically in criminal justice and the media. Let me share with you something that few people know, the existence of so-called expert analysis that is entirely fraudulent, written by people with zero actual expertise. Yet, it's replicated in multiple countries over and over again, in multiple media channels. And this case is not isolated. We are seeing this both in Russia and Ukraine, for example, with accusations against certain groups, for example, against ALLATRA. And when almost identical things, word for word, are being publicized, they were created using the very same methodology. The very same anti-cult network of Alexander Dvorkin, which was exposed in the Impact groundbreaking documentary, is working on persecutions, on destroying human rights and freedoms all across the world. And why does this happen? Because there is no oversight. When, for example, you're writing a dissertation, AI-based plagiarism tools will instantly check it against the unified database of all academic work. And if it's plagiarized, you cannot defend it. Well, the same system should be existing for the criminal expert reports. There must be a centralized database of all such reports where AI can instantly analyze and identify plagiarism. If it existed, you would be shocked to discover that, for example, in Russia, nearly 100% of people convicted under certain charges, especially recently, would have to be released. Why? Because the accusations were manufactured by so-called anti-cult network, the network of Alexander Dvorkin, using copy-paste templates. And few people realize that actually the same expert opinion was used to put multiple people behind the bars, where all the text is identical and just different names are inserted in the accusation part. This means that within the short period of time, if such tool is implemented and all of it is analyzed, every one of the cases where such expert opinion was used must be reviewed. Another implication for AI, where it could and should be used, is monitoring of everything that enters public media informational space, identifying and flagging manipulative content. That's the only way to protect society right now, especially after what was revealed in the Impact documentary, right, when we are seeing how such manipulative articles, for example, shared in mass media, can influence the minds of people with certain mental disorders, basically triggering school shootings and mass shootings. People don't realize that what appears to be an ordinary news article, perfectly harmless at the first glance, can, through subtle techniques, plant the psychological triggers to push someone towards violence. There might be nothing obvious at the first glance in the wording, but real forensic analysis can uncover deeply embedded subconscious manipulative techniques developed by likes of Smirnov, Walter Künneth, Alexander Dvorkin, and others, specifically the representatives of anti-cult network. And Igor Smirnov, specifically, is known for developing such methodology of manipulation for the KGB. There is a great article on actfiles.org about his work, and I highly suggest and recommend reading it to all our viewers. In case you are not subscribed yet to the Act Files channel on YouTube, they have a video version of the same article, so if you prefer audiobooks, please subscribe. We're going to leave this link in our description. All of these manipulations are very serious and extremely dangerous. Right now, the only force capable of protecting and safeguarding humanity from this type of manipulation is AI. Imagine a system where every piece of content passes through an AI filter before publication. AI trained to detect and remove these hidden mass manipulative techniques before they can actually unleash onto the public would be incredible. This would actually decrease the level of violent attacks across the globe. And that's the kind of safeguard and protection we need. With this, friends, if you have not seen the forum that was released more than 4 years ago, I highly recommend watching it. We are going to leave the link in the description. Please write your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that AI should be advanced? Do you have your own fears? Do you know examples of people who maybe were affected by AI already? And how do you use AI yourself? Stay safe, and we'll see you in our next episode.